Hello there. This is Dr. Barto with Barto Family Chiropractic, and we are in the midst of back to school season. And what I would like to do is share with you some tips so that you can make this year a healthy and happy year, so that we don't have to deal as much with sick kiddos. So the first tip that I'm going to share with you is about book bag safety. So something we do very often in this office is check people's posture, because your posture is really the window to your spine, and your spine has intimate connections with your nervous system. So if we see dysfunction in how your spine is aligned and functioning, then we're going to see changes in how your brain and your body can communicate through a nervous system. So if we look at this little guy in this picture here, you can see what his posture looks like without a book bag, and you can tell up at his neck, he's got a bit of forward head posture. The truth is that his ear should be right over top of his shoulder. So even without a book bag, he has quite a bit of forward head posture. Now when we look at him when he is wearing a book bag, his posture shifts even more. So starting at his hips, his shoulders start to lean forward and his head goes even more forward to compensate for that weight that's on his book bag. Now that is needed to compensate, but what we really have to recognize here is when we're wearing very heavy book bags and we're wearing them for long periods of time, those postural changes can really start to set in. So let's see how that affects your body. Now, what we're talking about here is forward head posture. Now, every inch forward that your head is relative to your shoulders increases the weight of the head by 10 pounds as far as those muscles in your neck and your shoulders are concerned. So if you as a parent, you constantly feel that tension in your neck and across your shoulders, that's often because we spend so much time at desks with that forward head posture, and it really puts a lot of stress and strain on those neck muscles. Now this forward head posture is going to be really, really critical, because the more forward our head is, it decreases our ability for the lungs to fill completely. And if we can't get all our lungs full of oxygen, then that means we have less oxygen to your brain and the rest of your body. And that's critical. Now this also has been shown through scientific research to decrease testosterone production. So it's going to change how our hormones function. This is also going to increase stress hormones like cortisol. So when your kids come home from school and they're exceptionally stressed out, it can be in part because of carrying these heavy book bags. Now this also decreases serotonin, and it causes your child to feel poorly about themselves. So this is really important. When we start to see these postural changes, it stresses our kids out and they feel badly about themselves. So what are we as a parent able to do to help them? We need to teach our children proper backpack safety. So what we can do as teachers and as parents is to really help these children manage the weight of their book bags. So a book bag that weighs more than 15% of a child's body weight damages their developing spine. More than 15%. So what does that mean? If your child weighs 50 pounds, they should carry no more than 7.5 pounds in their book bag. We're going to talk about that in the next slide. But what we can do as parents is every Sunday, empty your child's book bag, remove what's not necessary, and really aim to keep that weight under 15% of their body weight. So put them on a scale, put their book bag on a scale, and teach them the math to figure out, is their book bag under 15%? So like I just said, 15% of their body weight. So if your child weighs 50 pounds, they should carry no more than 7.5 pounds in their book bag. So you look at these little girls, they're definitely carrying more than 15% of their body weight. Additionally, we need to make sure that we're wearing these book bags appropriately. So we need to check the book bag so that they have that proper strap placement so that it's going across both shoulders. You should also be choosing a book bag that has some padded straps. If we have straps that aren't padded, it can really dig into the shoulders and be extremely uncomfortable. Now the bottom of the book bag should be a few inches above the waistline and should rest right in the curve of the lower back. So you can look at the two differences in there. The picture on the right the book bag's too low, and it's causing the child to compensate by pushing their head forward. But if we just tighten those straps up and raise that book bag up, we're going to have a much stronger posture. Additionally, we need to use both straps. When you're purchasing a book bag, choose one that has 2 straps. And teach your child that wearing the straps on both shoulders prevents postural problems. So here's a nice illustration you can see. If you're carrying a lot of weight, especially if that's weight that's more than 15% of their body weight, we're going to start to really curve that spine, and that's going to put a lot of stress on the nervous system and change how the body functions. Now, to help compensate, sometimes these book bags are heavy, but to help compensate, what we really need to do is practice spinal hygiene exercises. These spinal hygiene exercises need to be done 5 times a day. If you're a patient here in the office, then you have access to wellnessandprevention.com or the binder in our office. It's going to take you through all of the spinal hygiene exercises. What you're seeing here is just a couple of the YWTL exercises that will help balance out the muscles in the front of the chest and strengthen the muscles in the back. Additionally, if your child is not under regular chiropractic wellness care, then we really need to be checking your posture to see if maybe they do need a chiropractor. You want to check your child's shoulder and head levels at least once a month to determine if they're showing any early signs of repetitive stress on their growing spine. So if you look at this little fellow, you can see he's got a shoulder imbalance. That's being translated into when his hands are hanging at his sides, one side's longer than the other. His eyes are uneven, and he's also rotating his head to the right. So if these are common postural changes in your child, then it's a clear sign that their spine is not properly aligned and functioning, and over time this is going to have damage to their nervous system. So children whose parents regularly take them to the chiropractor often report the following benefits: improved sleep, improved immune function, and this means less sick days for the kids and less days off for mom and dad, improved behavior, better concentration, which translates into better grades. All of that from children who regularly have their spine checked and adjusted by Wellness Chiropractic. So if your child hasn't been checked and evaluated by a chiropractor, then I have a special offer for you. During the month of September, we're discounting our new patient exam so that you can have your child's spine evaluated for just $47. That's it, just $47, to make sure that your child's spine is developing and aligned the way that it's supposed to, so that they can be their absolute best. So give our office a call, 724-515-5481, and get that appointment scheduled. Mention this ad, that you watched this video, and we'll be sure to give you that $47 discount. We'll talk to you soon.